Hello students, welcome to all. Today in this second lecture of electrogravimetry, we are going to study the terminologies used in electrogravimetric analysis. Then after that we will study the decomposition potential. Okay, so let's start with our first point. Terminologies used in electrogravimetric analysis. A cell consists of two electrodes. Electrogravimetric cell, it consists of two electrodes which is deep in one or more solution of electrolytes in an appropriate container. Okay, these two electrodes are cathode and anode. There are two types of cell, electrolytic cell and voltaic cell. Okay, we will first see electrolytic cell. In this cell, electrical energy is used to bring about a chemical reaction. Okay, electrical energy is used to bring about a chemical reaction, or electrical energy is converted to a chemical energy. Okay, it is called as electrolytic cell. In electrolytic cell, electrical energy is used to bring about a chemical reaction, or electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. For example, a cell in which electroplating is done or extraction of metal is done is an electrolytic cell. Then second is the voltaic or galvanic cell. In this cell, chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. It's called galvanic cell. Here, chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. Chemical energy is converted more or less completely into electrical energy, but some of the energy may be dissipated as heat. Here, some of the chemical energy is converted into electrical energy, and some chemical energy may be dissipated as heat. For example, examples of galvanic cell are Daniell cell, lead storage battery. Okay, in these cells, chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. A given cell may be function at one time as galvanic cell and at another as an electrolytic cell. A typical example of this is lead accumulator or storage. Okay, it behaves as galvanic cell as well as electrolytic cell. If charging process takes place, then at that time it is behaves as galvanic cell. Electrolytic cell. That is, electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. When electricity is off, at that time that cell is act as a galvanic cell. That is, chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. The next term is the cathode. Cathode in an electrolytic cell. We know that electrolytic cell means what? Here electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. In that cell, the electrode which is attached to a negative terminal of source is called cathode. So it is a negative electrode. Okay, in electrolytic cell, the electrode which is attached to negative terminal of the source is called cathode, and it is negative electrode. Here, okay, on that cathode, electrons leave the source and go to the electrode. Okay, electron leave the source and go to the electrode, and the electrode gives electrons which enter the electrolysis process. In galvanic cell, cathode is positive electrode. Okay, in electrolytic cell, cathode is negative electrode. In galvanic cell, cathode is positive electrode. Here, electrons are accepted by the electrode from the solution. Anode. In electrolytic cell, anode which is attached to the positive terminal of the source is called an anode. So it is a positive electrode. Here electrons are accepted by the electrode. Okay, in electrolytic cell, anode is the positive electrode because which is attached to the positive terminal of the cell. Anode accepts the electron from the solution and supplied to the source. In galvanic cell, opposite phenomenon is there. Anode is negative electrode. Okay, and here electrons are given by the electrode to generate electricity. Okay, so always remember that in electrolytic cell, negative electrode is cathode. In electrolytic cell, positive electrode is anode. And in galvanic cell, cathode is the positive electrode and anode is the negative electrode. Next point is the polarization effect. Okay, polarization effect. Look at the diagram. Okay, there are two diagrams. Here, first diagram, current versus applied voltage. Okay, look at the reaction. Electrolytic cell. We know that in electrolytic cell, electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. Here, copper copper gives 2 electron to cadmium. Okay, so copper is oxidized to form Cu2 plus, and cadmium accepts 2 electron and get reduced to form cadmium metal. Okay, it is a cell reaction. It is expected that a linear relationship should be exist between the potential of an electrochemical cell and current. Okay, linear relationship. That means if current is applied potential is increases, then current is linearly increases with potential, like that. Linear relationship is expected. Okay, it is expected that a linear relationship should exist between the potential of an electrochemical cell and current. Okay, it is shown in figure that the expected linearity observed only at low currents. Okay, that linearity is observed only at low current. At higher current, linearity is not observed. Okay, when the current becomes larger, a marked departure occur in the linear relationship. Marked departure is occur in the linear relationship. And when non-linear behavior is observed, the cell is said to be polarized. Okay, at lower current values, the linear relationship is observed between current and applied potential. But at higher current values, a marked departure from linear behavior is observed. So, a non-linear behavior is observed, and that time the cell is said to be polarized. Okay, here galvanic cell also there is a linear relationship between the applied cell potential and current, but at higher values of current that linear behavior is not observed. Okay, a marked departure from linear relationship is observed. So at that time the cell is said to be polarized. Note that the polarization requires the application of potential to an electrolytic cell that is greater than theoretical to give a current of the expected magnitude. Okay, to get a current of the expected magnitude, the potential which is applied to the electrolytic cell must be greater than the theoretical value. Okay, with a galvanic cell, polarization results in potential that are smaller than are predicted by the linear relationship. In galvanic cell, the phenomenon is opposite. So, the potential that are smaller than are predicted by the linear relationship must be applied or required. Okay, sometimes the addition of some compound to the solution lowers the amount of polarization, and in such case the electrode and cell is said to be polarized. Okay, sometimes some compounds are added to the solution of electrolyte, and due to that addition it lowers the amount of polarization, and it is called as depolarization. Okay, the next point is the current density. Current density means it is defined as current flowing per unit area of the electrode. Current density is the current flowing per unit area of the electrode. That definition is also important for exam. It is generally expressed in amperes per square centimeter. Current per unit area, that means ampere per unit square centimeter. It is generally expressed in ampere per square centimeter of the electrode surface. The next important term is the current efficiency. Current efficiency. Current efficiency is the ratio of the actual amount of the substance deposited to the theoretical amount expected to be deposited during electrolysis is called current efficiency. That means the amount of substance actually deposited and the theoretical amount which is expected to be deposited, that ratio is called as current efficiency. So the ratio of the actual amount of the substance deposited to the theoretical amount expected to be deposited during electrolysis is called current efficiency, and it is expressed in percentage. Okay, both definitions are important. The next point is the decomposition potential. Okay, look at the diagram. It shows what? It is a plot of current versus voltage across the cell. Okay, initially the current value is nearly zero. If we increase the applied voltage, the current is there is a small increase in current, but at a certain value of voltage there is a sudden increase in current. Okay, so it is explained by using one example. We will explain this concept by taking a simple illustration. Let us say that a small voltage of say 0.5 volt is applied to two smooth platinum electrodes immersed in a solution of 1 molar H2SO4. Here we consider our electrolytic solution is 1 molar H2SO4. In that solution, two smooth platinum electrodes are immersed. Okay, and between these two electrodes 0.45 volt voltage is applied. Okay, at first initially some current flows, okay, and the strength of which decreases rapidly with finally becomes zero. Okay, finally becomes zero if the applied voltage is gradually increased. Look at here, if applied voltage is gradually increased, there is a slight increase in the current, and when applied voltage reaches a certain value, the current suddenly increases. Okay, when the applied voltage reaches a certain value, the current suddenly increases rapidly with the applied EMF. Okay, this figure shows the variation of current with applied voltage. So the definition is what? Thus, the decomposition potential of an electrolyte may be defined as the minimum external voltage that must be applied in order to bring about a continuous electrolysis. Okay, here in this diagram, it is the decomposition potential. Decomposition potential means what? At which a continuous electrolysis is start. Current is rapidly increases. So the particular value of the applied voltage at which the current suddenly increases. Okay, particular value of the applied voltage at which the current suddenly increases is called the decomposition potential with respect to particular electrode reaction.